Hey everyone, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer. Today, we are going to be unpacking a truly fascinating, highly focused training module. It's called The Female Future: Strategic Sales for Women Consumers. Look, if you want to understand exactly where the future of consumer strategy is heading, you are in the exact right place. We're not just going to float around high-level concepts today. We're actually going to dive into the hard data behind women's immense buying power, and more importantly, uncover the specific, actionable tactics you're going to need to effectively reach this absolute powerhouse of a demographic.
All right, let's just dive right in. Section 1, the female future.
So, the quote here is, "We have seen the future, and it is female." Now, you gotta understand, this isn't just some catchy marketing slogan. It's genuinely the fundamental reality of our modern business landscape. Think about this. Right now, women drive the vast majority of all consumer purchasing decisions. We're talking high numbers here, often cited as high as 70 to 80%. That's huge. And the thing is, they aren't just buying for themselves. They're acting as, essentially, the chief purchasing officers for their entire households. They're making the final call on everything from healthcare to automotive to financial services, the whole shebang. Plus, when you factor in the massive transfer of generational wealth that's happening right now, well, women's economic dominance is literally only accelerating. If you want to succeed in tomorrow's market, recognizing this massive shift in economic power, it isn't optional anymore. It is the absolute ground floor foundation for every single strategy that follows. Okay, moving on to Section 2, synthesizing the strategy.
So, the obvious question is, how do we actually take that massive shift in purchasing power and, do something practical with it? Well, the source material gives us a pretty clear, actionable mandate here. You absolutely have to synthesize. Step 1 is straightforward: review previous learnings. That means pulling forward those core communication styles, the active listening techniques, and the psychological insights you've already mastered. Just get them fresh in your mind. Step 2, you put everything into one. This is crucial. You can't treat relationship building and closing techniques like they're living in separate silos anymore. Instead, you're actively combining your emotional intelligence with your hard, concrete product knowledge. And finally, Step 3, you create the strategy. This means totally moving away from a purely transactional, old-school sales approach and building a comprehensive plan that prioritizes trust, long-term value, and consultative problem-solving.
Which brings us right into Section 3, targeting the consumer.
Target women consumers. Now, this is the precise focal point of that synthesized strategy we were just talking about. But I know what you're thinking. What does targeting them actually look like in practice? Well, the research tells us that female consumers highly index on three main things: transparency, community building, and exceptional post-sales service. See, they aren't just buying a product off a shelf. They're investing in an ongoing relationship with a brand. So to actually hit this target, your strategy has to speak directly to those exact preferences. That means you've got to shift your marketing language. You need to emphasize real-world impact over just, rattling off a list of sheer features. It means ensuring your sales team prioritizes deep, genuine listening over an aggressive pitch. And really, it's about creating a customer journey where ongoing support is treated as just as important as the initial sale itself.
And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway for you today. We've explored the undeniable data behind women's economic dominance, and we've talked about the absolute necessity of combining emotional intelligence with your strategic sales tactics. You now understand that shifting from a transactional pitch to a relationship-driven, transparent style of communication is the absolute key to engaging this demographic. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this one thought to chew on. How will your sales strategy adapt to the female future? Are you actually ready to synthesize these insights and capture the most powerful economic force in the market today? Thank you so much for joining me, and honestly, I highly encourage you to start refining that strategy right now.